For the longest time, the rules of search engine optimization felt, well, pretty set in stone. But recently, a seriously powerful new player has shown up, and it's changing pretty much everything we thought we knew. And that player is artificial intelligence.
So that brings us to the million-dollar question, right? The one that's on every marketer's and business owner's mind. With AI that can write, research, and even code, is the entire field of SEO just gonna disappear?
Well, the good news is, the answer is a big fat no. AI isn't killing SEO, it's giving it a massive intelligence boost. It's shifting the game away from all that manual grunt work and putting the focus back where it belongs, on high-level strategy. It's making the whole practice way more effective.
All right, so let's get into the new playbook. First, we'll look at how AI is rewriting the rules. Then we'll dive into how to supercharge your content, get way smarter with keywords, and even troubleshoot technical stuff. And then we'll wrap up with the risks you really need to watch out for.
Okay, let's dive right in. Look, the core of SEO, creating great content that actually helps people, that hasn't changed a bit. But what has totally changed is the incredible set of tools we now have to get that job done faster and, frankly, better than ever before.
And the engine behind all of this is the large language model, or LLM. If you've played with tools like ChatGPT, you've used one. The best way to think about it is like this. It's your new creative partner, a research assistant that literally never sleeps and can generate ideas at a scale that's, well, it's pretty mind-blowing.
Let's start with what's usually the biggest time suck in SEO, content creation. This is where LLMs have made a huge splash, turning that whole staring at a blank page nightmare into a smooth, streamlined process.
And I mean, just look at the difference here. Remember the old way? Hours, sometimes days of just grinding through research, trying to pull an outline together, and then all that drafting. Now the LLM automates all that tedious work. It can cluster topics, build outlines, and get you a solid first draft in minutes. It's a total game changer for your productivity.
So how do you actually do this? It's pretty straightforward. First, you ask the AI to brainstorm a bunch of related subtopics around your main idea. Next, you have it whip up a detailed content brief, complete with headings and key questions. And then you let it generate that first draft. Your job? You come in as the human expert to refine it, fact-check it, and inject your own unique brand voice.
All right, so that's content. Now let's take that same power and apply it to our next strategy, getting way smarter with keywords. See, your classic keyword tools are awesome for raw data, but LLMs, they can find a whole other layer of what your users actually want, because they think more like a person than a spreadsheet.
You know how it used to be, right? We were all chasing those big, broad, high-volume keywords. But LLMs are amazing at digging up those super specific, conversational questions that real people are typing into Google. We're moving past just what people search for and getting to the heart of why they're searching in the first place.
And the workflow here is super simple, but so powerful. Start with your main product or service. Then, just ask the LLM to come up with every possible question a customer could have about it. And here's the magic part. Ask the AI to sort all those questions by intent. Are they just looking for info? Are they ready to buy? That right there, that's pure strategic gold.
Okay, so we've covered content and keywords. But what about the really nerdy stuff, the technical side of SEO? The part where one misplaced comma in the code can break everything. Well, LLMs are becoming an incredible assistant for that too.
And get this, we're talking about a potential speed boost of over 40% on complex technical tasks. Think about something like schema markup. That's the special code that helps Google really understand your page. It's super tedious to write. Now, AI can do a huge chunk of that heavy lifting, freeing you up from debugging code to focus on the big picture.
So how's it work? It's wild. You can literally just paste an article and ask the LLM, hey, create the schema code for this. Boom, done. Or if you've got a global website, you can give it a list of your pages and it'll write all the correct language tags for you. You can even just describe a redirect in plain English and it'll write the server code for you. It's an unbelievable shortcut.
Okay, now, it can't all be sunshine and roses, right? With a tool this powerful, you have to be smart about it, because if you use it blindly, you can run into some pretty serious trouble. Understanding the limits is absolutely key.
And here is the #1 thing you absolutely have to remember. AI can and will just make stuff up. It's a real thing.
They call it hallucinating. And if you just copy and paste that, you're not just putting your reputation on the line, you're risking a penalty from Google for low-quality content. Not only that, but if you lean on it too much, you'll start to lose your brand's unique voice. The human expert is still the most important part of the equation.
And that really brings us to the perfect way to think about all of this. AI isn't here to take your job. It's here to be your tireless assistant, your brainstorming partner, your tech support, freeing you up to do the real strategic thinking that only a human can do.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. In this new world, it's not just about outsmarting other businesses anymore. It's about how well you can work with these new tools. Because from now on, your biggest competitor might not be the person down the street, but the team that has